The Ford government is under fire tonight for launching an ad campaign promoting their back-to-school plan. Critics say it is appalling that they spent an undisclosed amount of money on advertisements when there have been calls for more money to support a safe return to schools. But the premier defended the move, saying it is a critical way of communicating with parents.
The Ontario government asked doctors, health officials, school boards, and educators to help build a comprehensive plan to keep our kids safe.
The radio ad began airing on Friday, and the posters are already circulating online. The premier calls the campaign critical.
Imagine if we didn't have any ads and no one knew what was going on. That'd be terrible.
While parents call it unconscionable.
Why in the world does the government need to or feel they need to spend 1 cent to reassure parents that they are keeping our kids safe?
The premier has promised he will be transparent about the cost of the campaign, but at this time it's unknown. But no matter how much, critics say the money could have been better spent.
What's most critical is to make sure that our kids are safe and that everybody who's on the front lines in education is kept safe.
For weeks, school boards have been asking for more money to ensure smaller class sizes, hand washing stations inside classrooms, and better ventilation systems.
I would like to see this government taking the dollars and the energy and the time that they're spending trying to sell a faulty back-to-school plan actually in our schools.
But the premier wouldn't back down today, despite repeated questions about why he spent the money on this campaign. He says it was the right thing to do.
I think it's a no-brainer. It'd be terrible if we didn't run ads. You'd be asking me the other question. Well, why aren't you running ads? Why aren't you informing people? Sometimes you just can't win.
Well, we're talking about 2 million kids going into schools. Yes, we need to make sure that information is disseminated to every parent, every educator, every staff, every grandparent and caregiver. Everyone needs to know how they could play a role to keep their children and really broadly our community safe.
If there was a fact sheet, if there was a, specific instructions on their propaganda, that would be one thing. But in fact, it is vagaries that are, and soft, soothing voices that are just about convincing parents that everything's okay, and it's not.
Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
The chair of the TDSB also writing an open letter to the education minister today, asking for more funding and supports to help keep students and staff safe. He says a number of funding gaps still remain, including those related to class sizes, facilities, and nutrition programs. He's asking the government for more staff, funding for PPE, and money to fund repair budgets to renovate classrooms and maximize ventilation and fresh airflow.